not a method, a mindset. A quiet revolution built on consistency, simplicity, and awareness, not motivation, force, or speed. Wake up at 5 in the morning. Build 5 habits overnight. Read 10 books. Quit social media. Get ripped. But that thinking burns people out. It makes change feel impossible. When you believe only dramatic action creates results, you start believing your tiny daily efforts are worthless. That couldn't be further from the truth. There is a Japanese philosophy that flips this idea completely. It suggests greatness isn't found in explosive effort, but in slow, steady progress. If you improve by just a tiny amount, something so small it seems invisible, you can transform your entire life. That philosophy is called Kaizen. It literally means change for the better. Although Kaizen became globally recognized through Japanese business practices in the 20th century, its roots stretch much further back. In Zen Buddhism, there is a deep emphasis on presence, repetition, and refinement. The tea ceremony isn't just about drinking tea, it's about perfecting the small rituals surrounding it. The same applies to calligraphy, martial arts, and flower arranging. All rooted in the belief that you can always go deeper, always move closer to the ideal, one deliberate action at a time. After World War II, Japan rebuilt its devastated economy not through dramatic overhauls, but through continuous small improvements. Kaizen was central to that recovery. Figures like Kaoru Ishikawa and W. Edwards Deming helped transform industries by proving that small, intentional changes, made consistently by everyone involved, could produce extraordinary results over time. Nowhere did Kaizen flourish more visibly than inside Toyota. The car manufacturer became a global leader, not by being the flashiest, but by being the most consistent. Every employee, from the chief executive to the janitor, was expected to look for ways to improve. If a factory worker spotted a problem on the assembly line, they could stop production entirely to fix it. There was no shame in mistakes, only opportunities for learning. This approach led to remarkable innovations in efficiency, safety, and quality. But Kaizen didn't stay in factories. It spread into education, healthcare, sports, and personal development. Because at its core, Kaizen isn't just a business method. It's a philosophy for approaching anything you care about, built on trusting the process, taking responsibility for your own growth, and believing that no action is ever too small to matter. Suddenly, you've become someone completely different. When we set unrealistic goals, we fall into a cycle of guilt, burnout, and giving up. This happens every January with New Year's resolutions. Millions set bold goals, feel motivated for a few weeks, then abandon everything before February ends. The worst part isn't the failure itself. It's what that failure does to your belief in yourself. You start thinking maybe you simply cannot change. Kaizen offers a completely different approach. Instead of doing everything at once, it asks for just one thing, done slightly better than yesterday. 1% improvement daily. 1 page, 1 step, 1 breath. One of the most powerful ideas connected to Kaizen is identity-based change. Instead of obsessing over outcomes like losing 20 pounds or writing a book, you focus on becoming the kind of person who naturally does those things. It's a shift from results to process, from what you want to get to who you want to be. You stop saying you want to run a marathon and start saying you are the kind of person who trains every day, even if it's just a short run. Stanford behavior scientist B.J. Fogg suggests starting so small it feels almost silly. Want to build a push-up habit? Start with 1. Want to floss? Floss 1 tooth. The hardest part of any habit is starting. Once you're in motion, momentum builds. Every tiny action casts a vote for the person you're becoming, reinforcing your identity one quiet choice at a time. Keep showing up, and eventually, everything you've been quietly building becomes impossible to ignore. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Goals give direction, but systems create movement. A system for fitness might be 10 minutes of movement every morning. A system for learning might be 1 page before bed. These things seem small, but over months and years they build something unshakable without relying on motivation. Nature offers a perfect metaphor here. When you plant bamboo, nothing visible happens for 4 years. To truly understand Kaizen, you must look beyond productivity strategies and into the soul of the culture that created it. Kaizen is deeply connected to Zen Buddhism, woven into how the Japanese approach life, work, and even beauty. Zen teaches that fulfillment doesn't come from chasing outcomes. It comes from being fully present in what you're doing right now. Whether it's sweeping a floor or making tea, every action is an opportunity to enter the moment completely. There is no such thing as a small task, only how deeply you can inhabit it. This is the heart of Kaizen. Not rushing toward results, but showing up fully, doing the work with care, and trusting that improvement will follow naturally. The process becomes the reward. Repetition becomes sacred. And the ego, that part of us desperate for fast, visible results, slowly learns to let go and trust the quiet rhythm of daily practice. You don't need grand gestures. Consistent, sincere presence transforms connection more powerfully than any dramatic moment ever could. It meets you exactly where you are. Start with your mind. 2 minutes of meditation. 1 new idea learned daily. 1 honest sentence written in a journal. These tiny habits train your thinking gently but consistently over time. For your body, 5 push-ups today, perhaps 6 tomorrow. 1 better meal, an extra glass of water, a 5-minute walk after lunch. You're not training for an event, you're training for life. What matters is that you keep showing up, quietly, patiently, and with deep respect for the person you are becoming. You let go of the myth that change must be fast, dramatic, or impressive. You stop chasing overnight transformation because you understand it almost never lasts. Instead, you build systems, structures and rhythms that support your growth regardless of how you feel on any given day. You stop asking whether you feel like doing something and simply do it, not through force, but because it has become part of who you are. You shift your identity from someone who wants to improve to someone who improves every single day. And you make peace with imperfection. A musician doesn't expect perfection on the first attempt. They play, adjust, and refine. Your growth works the same way. Mistakes aren't failures, they're part of the practice. Start there, stay consistent, trust the process. That is the Kaizen way. Not the loud, dramatic moments, but the consistent, quiet choice to show up every day and improve something, even just a little. Kaizen isn't a tool you use once and forget. It's a way of living that reshapes how you approach your habits, your work, your health, your relationships, and your thoughts. You don't need to rush. You don't need everything figured out. You don't even need to feel ready. You just need to begin, wherever you are, with whatever you have. Daily consistency rooted in self-respect, not motivation, is what carries you forward. You're not trying to fix yourself. You're learning to honor yourself by improving gently, day by day. So here is the only question that matters now. What is one small area of your life where you can make a 1% improvement this week?